slave labor.
Forced labor.
Forced labor.
Forced labor.
Forced labor.
Slave labor.
Forced labor.
This includes people who are forced to work.
Forced labor.
Forced labor.
Deep space gulags.
Dude,
somebody would do it.
There's people that send people to Sidewinders by ganking them constantly.
Yes, and I don't
Alright.
like that either.
So, deal with that, dude. Go.
Hi. Today I have here with me Commander Emperor and Latex Roach, the masterminds behind the so-called Deep Space Gulag. So, how and when did you come up with this idea? Like, tell us some story behind the plan.
Alright, 7SD has always prided itself on taking in new players. Every person that has gone through 7SD, we've always had the requirement that they have to not have more than 100 mil, and they have to be like in some sort of starter ship. And they just have to be a noob. And we've been running this group for about 3 years now, and for the last 2.5, we've always tried to just pick people up out of random space or like looking for group posts over Xbox or any kind of forum. And we have spent years pouring billions upon billions and hours of time into just a bunch of worthless noobs that just end up just being useless. They get off the game, they don't stay interested, you know, they're just a waste of time. So we decided to design a training regimen and a recruitment method that benefited us first. So we decided that we were gonna take fresh noobs.
Yeah, but benefited you in what way? Like, what percentage are we talking about?
Money.
Yeah, I know, but what percentage? Like,
They only got about 6 to 7% of what the rock was worth. Although, it still made tens of millions of credits. Yeah, they questioned us about galactic averages. We had to explain stuff.
Yeah. They questioned us, and we told them straight up that these rocks will average from 500 to 800,000 on any given day.
Though these same
in the
noobs are
market.
the ones that rebelled and sought the fuel rats out. So,
what are they doing now? I ask you.
yeah, what are those noobs doing now? Probably
Okay.
absolutely fucking
Nothing.
nothing worth their while. They're probably still
Nothing
playing
worth-
Elite. I've seen a couple of them online, but anything they're doing right now probably fucking sucks. They're not learning shit. They got picked up by a bunch of PC guys that can't even play the fucking game with them.
and approximately how many people, like how many newbies, were involved?
Classified. We'll just say that their estimate to 15 to 30 at the time is correct. You know.
What was the ship and the loadout that you made the newbies build?
Okay.
Actually,
I do have something. Hold on, wait. I do have something to say about that. Now, everybody seems to be really upset about the fact that we coerced them into having a 1.5 light year jump range. In all honesty, that part was just for the giggles. That was just so we could laugh at how they couldn't get out. But, you know, in all reality, we fully understood that anybody, you know, with half a brain could self-destruct and find their way out.
Have you seen the Polygon article?
Yeah, that is
Unfortunately.
disgusting writing.
What do you mean?
Charlie Hall came to me and asked me, and he asked me a few questions, and I gave him my quotes, but he forgot to take out the parts where I totally denounced involving children, and that whole Nazi stuff was pretty unnecessary too. We base our division off the 7th Infantry Division that we millicent in Battlefield 4.
Which is not a Nazi unit, by the way.
Well, according to him, the conversation with the child was through the in-game chat. How would you know if it was a child?
Here's another thing. Just one more thing about that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Discord that he joined and looked at is not the Discord that we invited any of the slaves to.
Quote-unquote slaves.
He joined the 7SD Discord. He did not join the 7th Labor Division Discord. which is the Discord we used for the slaves. I repeat, he saw like our squadron Discord, not the one for the slaves. So his
Quote-unquote
that was
slaves.
also incorrect. Right. So that 7-year-old was never brought into that chat. And to be quite frank, we never even said anything in the slave chat that much. We only told them to work, answered questions, stuff like that.
Yeah, contact with the slaves was minimal, even if there like was some stupid little kid involved, which there definitely wasn't.
Right. It was very, very minimal.
Yeah, we got them in the keel back, you know, put them out to work, and that's it. Bye-bye, see you later, make the monies. You know, and then if they, depending on who showed more interest in the game, you know, who would invite us to parties and, you know, who would make the most money, those are the people that we took an interest to and decided to move them up through the program.
I assume you won't give me like the exact number, but could you tell me like the approximate amount of how much money you made?
We won't disclose that.
People reached out to some of your newbies apparently, and you know, telling them what's going on. So what happened now, or what happens now?
We're taking precautions to make sure that never happens again. For one, we had an in-game squadron for those slaves, just to give them a fucking achievement, or whatever. So we made that for them. That's not going to happen again, because that gave them a list of all the members, and they screenshotted it and sent it out. And then another thing is that the Discord, we displayed people's full gamer tags. We're going to be switching to another communications app, and no one's gamer tag is going to be displayed. A lot of it's going to be word of mouth, and it's really only going to be used for notification purposes. And we're going to try and make sure that it's an app where members of the same chat or server can't easily message each other. We want to minimize slaves being able to organize as much as possible. So that was the major flaw in this thing, because they got a list of all the gamer tags and sent them all these giant long messages explaining to them their situation.
Supposedly.
So their supposed situation. So yeah, that kind of screwed us in the end. But we're taking precautions to mitigate that in the future.
Won't this very same, like this exact conversation, like sabotage your future recruitment plans?
I'm gonna believe that, because slaves, or not slaves, but noobs, who would then be slaves, they don't check the internet. They're not gonna read Galnet news. And the people we got were already ignorant.
For a reason.
Yeah, it's because no one checks that stuff out. There's just a lot of people that have this game, and sometimes they get on, and they're flying around or whatever, and they don't
people
know
just
shit.
buy,
They're
you
new.
know, people are interested in space.
Yeah, but they really don't know what's going on at all. So
yeah, like honestly, like for most players, you know, when did you even realize how your radars and your instruments worked? You know, how long did it take you to fully understand that? You don't even know what you're looking at half the time. So, you know, I think that was why we were so successful. We were able to play on the game's complexity in the beginning. And, you know, just take advantage of the people who don't catch on to things as easy, you know.
When was the exact moment when you knew that people figured it out?
when I saw that there was new fleet
24 hours
carriers
after.
in system.
It was probably within 24 hours of that one slave reaching out to the field rep, because we were literally bringing in people every hour. We were bringing in, like, every couple of hours we had a group, 2 or 3 guys coming in, you know, started to mine. So when they reached out to, like, a new group, one of those players told us right away, and, you know, we became privy to their chat and whatnot.
Since a lot of people know about this now, what's next?
Oh, we're just gonna ramp it up, bring it tenfold, you know, it's gonna be more noobs than ever. Anytime it's slave time, there's always noobs buying the game, there's always people firing up the game for the first time, there's always people flying around in a dumb ship, don't know what to do, you know, you just scoop them up. You know, we heard there's an Operation Noob Scoop out there. Sounds great. You just scoop up a noob. You say, hey, man, here's some monies. You know, join us. You know, and if they're smart, you bring them in.
It's like
Bring them in deep.
you're luring them into a van. Candy,
Yeah, with candies.
and they're actually falling for it. These are
So-
the people that we're dealing with.
So you're not playing in a PG, like Polygon said. You legit go and open play.
Right, that's the
Oh,
only
yeah.
way we can recruit people, and they
Yeah.
stay in open play. We don't have a private group session for them.
We actually
Never
stayed in
had a
open play
private
just to
session.
welcome this kind of like opposing gameplay. Like we wanted this to like in a way we wanted people to like be able to catch us because like we've always had a policy of staying in open from day one because like we just don't agree with hiding in private like as a group of friends who are playing. You know, if we're going to do something like to the Guardian structure or whatever, you know, you go into solo, but as a group, you know, when we're together, when we're rolling around, we stay in open because we like that kind of gameplay in all aspects, even when we're doing something as nefarious as a supposed slavery, you know.
Yeah, by the way, those guys were paid well, in my opinion. 6 to 7% is a lot for a group.
A lot of people talk about this now. Like, what do you have to say to those who will try to come after you?
Bring it on.
Yeah, we're ready. If you want to find us, if you want to hunt us down wherever we are, you can try. But, bring a friend, bring a wing. You're gonna need it.
My final question is, did you lie to any of my questions during this conversation?
Absolutely not.
No.
Alright then.
Like, you're gonna be like that, alright?
Why would you guys do that?
It's like we're having another interview right now, alright.
3 days later.
Alright, so I heard you got banned. Is that true?
Got the fucking ban hammer, bro. Frontier Developments whipped out their big fucking juicy ones and they slapped it right on my face, bro.
If you start the game, what do you see? Or what happens?
Oh, you know, they give me an illusion. It's like, hey, dude, yeah, come and play an open play, dude. And then, you know, you click on open play, and then it's like a fucking deep, dark, lonely place. And I can't buy fleet carrier. I cannot influence the galaxy anymore.
So no matter what game mode you choose, there will be no players whatsoever.
There will be no players. I am secluded. That email and all accounts associated with that email are now secluded to solitary confinement to the perceived end of time. And I
What
guess
does
me going public on the pilot really put the nail in the coffin there, huh?
What does Emperor have to say about this?
He has faith. I don't. You know, there goes my engineers and my materials. You know, take all those hours away from me. You know, I think it's all a bunch of BS, scamming and cheating and defrauding players. I think those are very heavy-handed words for what we did, but, you know, whatever. What can I do? We looked at the code of conduct and we looked at the terms of service before we did anything. And, you know, they do state they reserve the right to change their code of conduct and their terms of service at any time. So, you know, if they want to be little fucking pussy-ass bitches and change their shit on us, you know, to fucking change the rules like fucking assholes, and they can fucking suck it, you know? Fucking suck it all day. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. That only makes their stance weaker because they're just throwing out their fucking stance on emergent gameplay. They're throwing out, you know, fucking anybody they don't like, they'll just fucking ban and take all their shit away, you know? It's fucked up. Without even so much as talking to me. I don't think that's cool. I think I've had enough discourse with Frontier Development, their support team, and everybody to like not be treated that way, especially as like a customer. You know, they didn't even talk to me or anything. They just said permaban. Like what? Like the years that I put into the game, you know, the fucking money that I paid for it, the money that I paid for skins doesn't mean anything. Well, then fuck you too, then. You know, lick my nuts. You know, they give me one appeal, and then after that, we'll see what happens.
And have you appealed already?
Yeah, but I fully accepted my fate,
But there was
regardless of what they say.
no such
I've
rule
accepted
against
that.
what you were doing until now.
There is now. There is now. Yeah, I think it's a result of just sensational reporting and just media grabbing. Oh my God, people are getting enslaved. Blah blah blah. You know. It was because after I did that interview with the pilot, Game ran the story, and after Game Rant ran it, like a couple other like bigger magazines ran it. After that, that's when Frontier was like, "Uh oh." Yeah, nowadays it's looking real grim. There's a few fucking snowflakes that are like, ban well deserved. Nah, nah, nah. Oh no, he's a goddamn noob. Fucking, you guys hurting the noob feeling? Oh, the noob doesn't have an anaconda. Oh no, poor noob. Let's make it really easy. Get an anaconda for the noob. The voices of how people feel, I guess, nowadays. The people who cry get the attention. You know, a lot of articles came out. They said, "Oh my God, abductions and slavery and racism and blah blah blah." You know, it's like a lot of virtue signaling. You know, a lot of people wanting to be part of something that they have absolutely no idea what happened. And here's the reality of it, right? This is what I left out on the pilot because I wanted to be sensational with everybody else. I wanted to keep the story going, you know, keep everybody engaged. You know, I thought it was being awesome being the villain. I thought Frontier liked that. Oh, look at this guy getting here playing in the game. You know, I thought it was freaking awesome.
How did you appeal? What did you say? Or what the fuck?
I said, if it's been deemed that I broke the rules, fine. But I should at least have a chance to right my wrong and a warning. We didn't scam or defraud anybody. Everybody that involved did it voluntarily. You know, I think a permanent ban is a little bit severe. No, I said that I love this game. I've been playing it for a long time. I just don't think this is right.
Whatever happens tomorrow, let me know in the comment section down below. And I'll see you next time. Take care.